Hey, welcome to Calm in the Midst. So I almost burned down my neighborhood yesterday. A couple years ago I got Suzette. She wanted to burn the weeds. So I got her one of these big weed burners. We call it her special tool, and it really is very powerful and it burns weeds. Well, we just put down all this fresh bark in the well, you know where I'm going with this. I was killing some weeds kind of down in our ditch in front of the house, and there's this big evergreen bush that's there, and it's got a lot of dead undergrowth in it. And so I was and I thought, well, that weed's not too close to that. And I hit the weed and everything. Well, evidently some some flames, some sparks kind of went up under the bush, and all of a sudden it smoked a little bit. Well, that's too bad. And all of a sudden it flamed, and I stomped on it, and as soon as I did that, some wind from the neighborhood blew through, and the whole bush just started catching on fire. And of course, I didn't have the hose right there. I had to go run and get the hose and put the flame out. And as I was doing that, I was kind of petrified, because I put this really big plume of smoke through our neighborhood, and I thought everyone's going to be down here. And so I was trying to get it out as quick as I could. So I'm sitting there doing that, and I thought about this verse. I'm not really sure why I thought about the verse, but I thought how quickly that flame went up. And I thought about the verse where it says to fan into flame the gift that God's given to you. And it comes out of 2 Timothy, and it's Paul working with his young protege, this young pastor. And he's saying this, he says, "For this reason I remind you to fan into flame the gift of God, which is in you through the laying on of my hands. For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. So do not be ashamed of the testimony about our Lord or of me, his prisoner." And I think in this particular case, Paul was encouraging Timothy to not be as timid as he was being, that maybe he was just naturally timid. And he was really saying, hey, Timothy, for you to pastor this church, you've got to be bold and courageous, especially when it comes to your message about Jesus. So take hold of that gift that I've given you. And I want to tell you today that I think one of the things we can do, as we're in the midst of all this right now, is to take a moment, breathe deep, and ask yourself, what are the gifts that God has been given to me? And have I fanned them into flame? Have I fanned them into a flame that's going to fill my neighborhood, that's going to fill my world with his love? Just think about it. Have a great week.
One hit wonders. Do you